On to Spurs then. They find themselves in the final against Manchester City in this season's Carabao Cup Final. Just talk us through their chances. Obviously, it's going to be a very difficult game against a team that are well-versed and well-matched in this competition, but it gives them a little bit of hope that they can go on and end Manchester City's run, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think, in the manager that they've got, if there's anyone that can upset the apple cart, it's Jose Mourinho, Jose. And I look at Man City, and as you said, in the last X amount of years, this has been their cup. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like it's taken up residence at Man City. So it is an opportunity for Tottenham to upset the apple cart. And as you said, Man City are a fantastic team, and they're just coming into the form. I mean, at the start of the season, everyone was questioning them about they were losing games, and everyone questioned him about, does he need to change things? I think bringing the defender Diaz in is just made them look a lot more solid and, a better team again.
And as you rightly said, that we'll touch on Manchester City first. And the last 3 seasons, they've managed to see off everyone that's come in their path, haven't they? They've won it each year, and it's a tremendous record to have. And seemingly one competition that Pep loves to get his hands on. His first trophy of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? The nice thing is to see that, we get a lot of teams that go through this competition and they play weekend sides throughout it. Man City don't seem to do that. They seem to treat every cup competition that they go into as important as the next, whether it be a Champions League game, whether it be, the Carabao Cup. They just treat it. They want to win it. They go out to win silverware at the end of the season, and they see this as a major coup.
And then heading back to Spurs, there's a lot of players in that dressing room that are yet to get their hands on a trophy. They've obviously missed out on a couple of finals, most notably the Champions League final a couple of seasons ago. Talking the likes of Harry Kane, Hugo Lloris, Eric Dyer, players that have been there for, you're talking maybe 8, 9, 10 years, some of them now. How much of a big carrot is this? All right, they've missed out on some other finals in the past, but to get their hands on something like the Carabao Cup that can hopefully go on then and get them more trophies further down the line.
Yeah, I think that's always the hope. You need to get that first one over the line. And once that happens, then, the others come. And I think that's where Tottenham are right now. They've got a group of players that have done fantastically well in recent years and managed to get themselves into finals, Champions League being the ultimate one, and unfortunately fell at the last hurdle. So it's they will know in the back of their minds, and they will feel in the back of their minds, getting that first trophy with that group of players, with the group of players they've got now, hopefully propels them on to more trophies, and not just the trophies, but eyeing up the Premier League as well.
And then the last time that they made this final was in 2015, coincidentally against Jose Mourinho's Chelsea side. They just obviously came up short on that occasion, but it shows 6 years on now, or 6 seasons later, that they've got that manager in charge, and they've got someone in charge who's got an incredible pedigree in this competition.
Yeah, and that's that's the plus. That was the point I was making right at the start. The plus sign for them is the fact that they've got a manager who's managed in this cup competition and won it before, and so knows what it takes in the league, and knows what it takes in cup competitions, and again has taken this cup very, very seriously. And he'd be very aware as well that you need that first bit of silverware to bring over the threshold to let people realise that your ideas are what's going to take him to future glories, and so he'll be desperate to be wanting to win this cup.
Sticking with the two managers then, obviously Jose for Spurs and Pep Guardiola for Manchester City. It's a rivalry renewed, isn't it? And we're used to seeing these two managers show their best hand in cup finals, and it's brilliant to see two managers such as these two in the English game, isn't it?
Yeah, they seem to have locked horns in different countries, and always come up with some, I wouldn't say bitter rivalries, but tactical rivalries, and it's great to see. And we'll see another one at the end of this month. Sorry, not the end of this month. It's a couple of months' time. Usually, with all the new schedules, everything's changed. So it'll take in a few months' time, we'll see them lock horns again, which will be interesting for everybody.
It's always the question, isn't it, about managers and mentality. To have a certain mentality in management for a start is something big, but to have a mentality to go and win cup after cup and perform at their highest levels, it is a real testament to both managers, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think there's not a manager that goes into management. There's not a player that goes into playing that doesn't want to win. what these two guys have got is a magic formula, and their formula has worked and enabled them to win trophies. Admittedly, they tend to work for the best teams that are able to spend the most amounts of monies, and so they're able to attract the best players. But yes, to be able to do that, you have certainly had to have had some success in the past for people to give you those opportunities, which these guys have had. And they've put their tactical analysis to the floor and won the trophies and the titles that they've won in their careers. And so they're held in the esteem that they're held in because of those reasons. So yes, they have not just won one thing or two things. They've gone on. They're seasonal winners, and they continue to thrive and continue to want to win things. Hence why taking this cup as seriously as they have done.
You're no stranger to this competition yourself. You managed to pick up a winner's medal in 1999. One of the most dramatic finals in recent years, or whether it seems like a long time ago now, considering the date. But
it feels like a long time ago, trust me.
What do you remember that day? Can you rack your mind back to that final, whether it's the build up to it first? We'll stick with that. What was it like in those, I don't know, maybe weeks or days ahead of the final? What's it like as a player to kind of go, right, we're in a big competition here, big final, let's get down to winning it?
Yeah, it's always a strange one because it's played in a time of the year where the season's still continuing. So, normally a cup final's the glory at the end of the season. So this one always falls in within a strange time. It's during the season and after the final, the season continues. But, the build-up was, we're at a final, we're at Wembley. It was the Wembley. So, it's a dream to play at Wembley and to play at a final. So, you've always dreamed about it being the FA Cup final, but just being at a final at Wembley, I remember all the build-up and, we couldn't wait to get underway. And it wasn't probably the most thrilling final that you've ever seen in the cup competition, but we come out winners in the end, and that was all. It was all about walking up those stairs and picking up the trophy and the winner's medal.
And then, but on the flip side of that as well, and I'm sorry to bring this up, it might be one thing that you might have left in the past and it stays there. You obviously ended up on the losing side in 2002 against Blackburn. Just talk us through that. Obviously, you ended up winning it in 99, but then a few seasons later, you got to taste the other side of the coin. I bet it wasn't a pleasant experience, so to speak, but at the end of the day, it was a cup final.
Yeah, and it was. I think at the end of the day, you come away from it. Brad Friedel, was man of the match. So we had chances. He made good saves. We hit crossbars. We hit posts. It just wasn't meant to be on the day. And yeah, you go from elation to someone trying to mop you off the floor afterwards. You sat in the changing rooms, and it's the fact. It's not just the fact that you ain't won the game. It's the people that turned up on the day that have got to travel all the way back home that you feel like you've let down, and yeah, so there's the emotions of that, which it's chalk and cheese. One's elation and one's total doom and gloom, and it's hard to describe. It's probably hard to describe both feelings because there's one of ecstasy that you can't actually explain what the feeling's like, and then the other side of the coin is just the fact that you've kind of like you let your team down, you've let the fans down. The club, it was a chance for you to win another medal. Yeah, so.
Well, you basically just took the next question out of my mouth. Really, was that you personally had a fantastic game. You obviously came up against an inspired Brad Friedel who made 3 saves against you, but you also provided the assist for your team's goal as well. So looking back, you must be very happy with your performance that day.
No, because my listen, when you lose a game, you never come away going, oh, you know what, I did all right today. My job was to score goals, and Brad Friedel had the better of me on that day, so I didn't come away thinking, well, look, yeah, I made the chance. I made our goal. I had the assist for our goal. Back then, you never got credited with assists anyway, as you do now. But you walk away from it and you think, I had a few chances. You made a couple of good saves. Could I have done better with this? So you can't analyse the game yourself and go, could I have done better? I never walked away from it thinking, I did all right there. We'd lost the game, and that was all that was in my mind.
Just touching on your time at Spurs then, how much did you enjoy your time there? Because it was obviously a bit of a dream for you as someone who grew up supporting the club to go and play for that football club. sometimes players don't get the chance to achieve that, and you did. What was that experience like for you personally?
It's really mixed when people ask me about my time at Tottenham. In terms of playing, it's a dream come true. My dream came true, and I say to people, when people talk about dreams coming true, I've lived it. I've lived it. Being a Spurs supporter and playing for the team, I've lived it. I played for England. Do you know what I mean? I've lived the dream. But in terms of my time there, probably not as productive as I wanted it to be. I love playing for the club. I love being part of the club. I love, pulling on that shirt. But when you look at my time at QPR, when you look at my time at Newcastle, and the goals that I scored for both those teams, if there was a team that I wanted to score that amount of goals for, it would have been Tottenham. Just never quite worked out. I was coming into my 30s and I started to pick up niggly little injuries, and that blighted my career at Spurs to really having a sustained period of time in the team where I felt I could really cement my place and my name in history.
Your name is down in history in some respects. You scored the 10,000th Premier League goal as well. That must have been a real highlight for you to do that while you were at the club that you were at. Yeah,
I always remember the first season of the Premier League, and I remember Andy Sinton at QPR. We played the first Monday night game ever against Man City. In fact, at the Old Main Road. And Andy Sinton scoring a worldie of a goal in the game. And then fast forward to the 10,000th goal, scoring it at White Hart Lane. And I always remember I'd gone for a bit of a sticky period at Spurs where I hadn't been scoring lots of goals. And like I said, injuries had blighted my time. And I always remember the day before the game, seeing all the betting odds for who they thought would score the first goal. And my name wasn't even mentioned because I'd gone through such a period. And then all of a sudden I'd scored this goal, and I can't even remember what minute it was in, but I scored this goal, and the announcer came on and said, I think this could be the 10,000th Premier League goal. Was early enough to be the 10,000th Premier League goal. So yeah, it was strange, because in the past my name would have been up there as one of the the betting odds to score.
Put you under a bit of pressure now then. Obviously, we've got to wait until April, until the final, but is there any chance of us getting a score prediction out yourself for that game?
Geez, I know what I'd like in terms of the score prediction, because I'd like to see Tottenham get that first trophy with this group of guys and then go on to win more things, which is what I'd like. Man City are coming into a bit of form, and I think if there's any team, like I said, that could upset the apple cart, I'm not sure I can give you a score prediction, but I've told you what I'd like. And if there's any manager that could upset the score prediction, it's the manager that Tottenham have got right now. And so that's what I'm hoping for, a Tottenham victory.